Thank you for listening to REED-BBS.
Gracias por escuchar REED-BBS.
REED-BBS, BBS. Not to belabor the point, not to beat a dead horse, but let's take some time to touch up a deceased equine anyways, all right? Our sport, the sport of boxing, sucked. It sucked in 2022. It wasn't a banner year, to put it mildly. I don't know what the antonym for banner is, but boxing in 2022 was it. Topping the list of reasons why was the lack of big bouts. The failure of meaningful fights coming to fruition. There was no big fights, no mega fights, no super fights. Nada. Well, keep hope alive, people. Keep hope alive. We got fingers, eyes, and toes crossed. It's 2023 and Saturday, April 22nd, promises what 2022 fell short of. I'm talking Gervonta Tank Davis, 28-0, 26 KOs, versus Ryan King Rye Garcia, 23-0, 19 KOs. To be on Showtime pay-per-view, live from the T-Mobile Arena in Lost Wages, Nevada. This is huge. Huge! Huge! There's fights, there's big fights, there's mega fights, and then there's super fights. To me, I'm just one man, but to me, this is a mega fight. This fight is bigger than big, but it's short of super. And that's no shade intended when I say that. And what Tank and King Rye may lack in terms of legacy on a super fight level, they more than make up for with appeal, drawing power, and boxing's newest set of tools, being social influencing and social media presence. Now, before we swan dive deeper into this scintillating matchup, I want to encourage you to subscribe. Please comment. If you comment, I comment. That's how this works. Please use the bell icon to get notifications of future videos. Remember, sharing is caring. Love tap and or, giving you a choice, love tap and or bitch slap that like button for you, boy. And shout out to the homies at fightbeat.com. Can you step to this? You know it's a mega fight or a super fight when there's a press tour, not just a singular press conference, but a press tour for the event. And in the case of Davis versus Garcia, there were two stops, LA and New York, I believe. These are two certified brands here. Young, undefeated, insanely popular brands. There's no belt on the line here because no belt is needed. We don't need a fucking belt ruining this. Showtime is dedicating not one but 2 episodes of All Access to this purpose. So, after years of Twitter beef, we're finally gonna get some action, y'all. We're gonna get some hands thrown between these two. It's gonna be like a mini holiday of sorts. I'm gonna be all over it, all over the countdown shows, all over the YouTube videos. Yeah, it's gonna be like that. The press conferences themselves were lively, animated, neither man giving an inch, kind of how the fight should probably be. Tank, he checks all the bad guy boxes, all of them. He's got the one-hitter quitter power, which can intimidate some people and not some others. He's got the Baltimore street vibe in full effect. My man was 1 hour late for the New York press conference. And when he arrived, he was aggressively talking and putting his fist in and on Ryan's face at times. I don't know how much longer that'll last, to where they'll have to have security maybe keeping them from each other as the fight approaches and dudes get more edgy because they're cutting weight and whatnot. But conversely, King Rye's got the Latin heartthrob angle mastered. My man watched, studied, and listened to Canelo and De La Hoya well in that regard. Speaking of which, Canelo's picking Tank to win, just FYI. Believe that over there. Goosen and Coach Calvin, they kept it respectful. Goosen said, I know you guys are going to put on a great show. I'd pay for this pay-per-view. I have nothing but mutual respect with Coach Calvin. Coach Calvin Ford, he said, we bringing boxing back. This is the fight that's going to cause the other fighters to fight. Then he said to Ryan, you're the king, but he's the savage. Ryan got his turn. He said, if he's a Tank, I'm an RPG. I'm stopping him in 2. I don't know what an RPG is, but he said that a few times now. I guess I'll find out at some point. Ryan also teased Tank for being late, saying, someone's got to promote. At least I was on time. Interestingly, Ryan also mentioned a rehydration clause. The official fight weight is 136 pounds. However, there's a clause in the contract actually mandating both men to weigh no more than 146 at the morning of the fight weigh-in. But we all know 146 ain't going to affect Tank near as much as it will King Rye. Tank responded, Ryan's talking out of his ass. He can expect an ass whooping. But then on the rehydration clause, he specifically said he's the bigger fighter. He's coming down from 160, 170. That was his justification. But right out the gate, as soon as you say that, motherfuckers wonder, well, you didn't make Mario Barrios succumb to rehydration clauses. Why are you making Ryan Garcia do it? It just instantly gives you the sense that Tank knows Ryan's a more dangerous fighter. I won't give a fight prediction in this video. I'll do it down the line. We got time. But I will predict success for the Davis Garcia promotion overall. I mean, let's take a look at Tank's live gates. 14,129 for Gamboa in ATL. 16,570 for Barrios in San Antonio. 15,580 for Pitbull Cruz in LA. 18,970 for Rolly in Brooklyn. 19,731 for Hector Luis Garcia in DC. On top of that, my man's done 275,000 pay-per-view buys for Rolly and between 200 and 225,000 pay-per-view buys for Hector Luis Garcia. Now, with that said, Ryan Garcia's no live gate slouch either. And my man's got over 9 million Instagram followers. So if even a small percentage of those 9 million Instagram followers tunes in, look out. I'm safely predicting 500,000 minimum pay-per-view buys for this one. It's going to be a big fight again. Fingers, eyes, and toes crossed. We don't need nothing happening, postponing, or ruining this fight. It needs to come to fruition. Quite frankly, boxing needs it. Our sport needs it. REED-BBS. BBS. Blackbird Sugar. Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television. Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.